glad you're here. I'm so excited to see you. Who's here at Frank for the first time? Stand up. Come on, stand up. Let's give you some love. Let's show them the love. Woo! Woo! Who's back at Frank? Who's coming back? Come on, stand up. All right, everybody, get a good look at these individuals because they know where all the best bars are, they know where the best coffee is, and they know where the strongest Wi-Fi signals are in town. Who's been to every Frank? You all know your job. You know what you need to do. Help all of these people find their shared brilliance, help them connect, tell them where the best bars are. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I'm Christiano. I'm the director of the Center for Public Interest Communications and the Frank Karel Chair in Public Interest Communications. We're so excited for Frank this year. How about that opening performance? Our performers were Diago, Kebaya, and Cheval. Diago is a PhD student in our College of Arts, and he is a world-renowned researcher connecting art and music. And he selected the two pieces that he played for us. Cheval, some of you who have been to Frank before may remember her previous performances when she dangled from the ceiling. Cheval is also a scholar. She has a PhD in anthropology, but she recently this year founded the Gainesville Circus program. So if you all decide that this social change stuff isn't for you and you want to run away and join the circus, Corey's your woman. She can help you do that. Diago chose those two pieces that you heard very intentionally. The second piece translates loosely to the term Bartok, and it captures a moment in Rio in the 20s and 30s in the karaoke scene. And it is a satirical piece satirizing the behavior of a particular man in the restaurant who continues to make outrageous demands of the waitstaff. But what I love about that samba and Corey's beautiful performance of it is the way that it takes us to a particular moment and a particular place and immerses us in it. And that's where we are. We are in a particular moment here and a particular place. And it's really important to be transported and to be present and to acknowledge that. The first piece that he played was by Debussy. It's called The Girl with the Hair of Flax. And he chose that piece because Debussy was one of the leaders of the Impressionist music movement that was a challenge to the more traditional music that had gone in the previous century. And in doing and creating that music, he said, I do not write music. I create pictures, and my medium is sound. And he really didn't like to be called an impressionist. In fact, he thought that the critics who used the terms, he called them imbeciles. But he said, I am a realist, but this is the only way that I can convey reality. What I love about the Impressionist movement, though, and why I think it's so important as we start to think about Frank this year, is its use of space. And the way that in Impressionism, we are forced to interpret. We are invited into these creations to have our own experience of them. They have left space for us to appreciate them, to enjoy them, and to create our own understanding of what is true and what is real and what is beautiful, which sets us up so beautifully for the moment that we are in the discussion that we're having here about space. This year at Frank, we're going to talk about space in all of its different meanings. The spaces between us, the spaces that include us or exclude us, the spaces that allow us to feel welcomed, the spaces that allow us to bring new meaning to things with a pregnant pause or an openness that invites somebody to find their place. So I am so eager to hear how you interpret this theme for yourself and find meaning in each of the speakers. Your work covers so many different issues. We could never have speakers that to address every single one of your issues. But it is my hope that as you talk to the speakers and your fellow Franksters, you can draw that meaning and apply their lessons to your work. There are a couple of things that I want to tell you about Frank. The first is that welcome to the Hippodrome. Nearly all of our sessions will be in this space, unless we're at recess, in which case we'll be in the bars and coffee shops. If you're new to Gainesville and not really sure how to navigate, our Frank Ambassadors will be helping you. They'll have signs to help you find your way. They'll be walking you to the different spaces. So. Our Frank Ambassadors are our students. We have nearly 100 students helping us out with Frank. They are extraordinarily talented young people. They're passionate about public interest communications. They're excited to meet you, and they are all looking for jobs. Keep that in mind. You'd be lucky to have them. I also want to tell you that Frank runs on time. So if we say we're starting at a particular time, we start at that time. When we end at a particular time, we end at a particular time. I want to acknowledge two groups that have been particularly helpful in helping us connect with new communities and build our program this year. The first is the Pop Culture Collaborative. Pop culture, yay! You guys have been fantastic in helping us identify new speakers that can bring new perspectives to Frank. And we are also really thrilled to have the RADCOM network representing it. Woo! It's like, find the RADCOMers. They're the most fantastic people. I'm going to tell you a couple of things about what's happening at UF. We are launching our online Masters in Public Interest Communications. People can start taking classes this summer. We're so excited about it. And one of the things that's particularly cool about our online Masters in Public Interest Communications is that it doesn't matter who you are or where you live, you still get to pay the Florida rate for tuition. Yep. So, Deressa Howard is here. If you're interested in, there she is. If you're interested in learning about this program, Deressa Howard and Kara Page and Jen Ford have all been incredible leaders in pulling this program together. We also, last year I told you that we got center status, which was amazing. Yeah. So now Center for Public Interest Communications is a thing, and we're so grateful to Dean Diane McFarland for making that happen. We moved into our space in August. That may be why I'm so obsessed with space right now. And if you're interested in seeing the space, I'm going to be loading up the Mom-mobile after our sessions today and driving over there, so be sure to grab a ride, and if there are too many of you, we'll just Uber. It'll be great. Okay. So I want to introduce our first two speakers today. Both of them are very dear to me. The first is Tamara Thal. Tamara, yeah. Tamara is one of our bright stars at the University of Florida. She's a junior. She's an activist on campus. She's a member of the Black Student Union. And last year, she applied for the Karel Fellowship Program, which is an incredible opportunity for young people to go to Washington and immerse themselves in the world of public interest communications. So over the course of Frank, you're going to be hearing from several of our amazing Karel Fellows. And Tamara is just exactly the perfect person to start us off. The second person that you're going to hear from is Jacob Larsen. Jacob Larsen is a pastor, and he also runs a bar, which is how we roll here in Gainesville. Jacob has been somebody who I have been very grateful to know. He's been a massive supporter of Frank over the years, but he is also somebody who is thoughtful about the space that he lives in and making that space a place that we all want to be and a place where we all feel welcome and that sense of belonging. So I'm so excited for you to meet both of these extraordinary individuals. Let's give Tamara a warm welcome.